Hi, welcome to those of you that are watching on YouTube, and also, of course, those of you that are watching on livestream.com, or the channel actually called Family Bible Time, which is a Facebook page that you can only access. Those of you that are on live stream, you already know this, or Facebook, but for the sake of the folks on YouTube, um, you can only access it through Facebook. I paused there for a second because a commercial always pops up on these live stream broadcasts 30 seconds into the video. So I always mention to the folks on live stream to click right on the video screen and it'll take care of that and make it go away and all the rest. Just like this phone call we're going to try to make go away right now. Go away. All right. I just wanted to make this as a little introduction to the reading of what we're going to be doing here very soon. Um, Actually, it already has begun on live stream, but I'm going to be reading from now on, until we're done, pretty much with the Reese Chronological Bible. Very interesting opportunity for a different type of Bible study to go through the Bible chronologically as it was put together by this fellow named Reese. I'm not exactly sure when this was done. I haven't read the introduction to it or anything, but it's very interesting. And for the folks on the live stream, it may be advantageous for you to head on over to YouTube and join up with the channel there and kind of keep an eye on the readings, because it goes through so many different um, passages, in different sections of the Bible. I mean, for example, some of this that was just read, it started off with John 1 and then did one verse, well, actually two. Then it went to Psalm 90 and did one verse. Then went to Genesis 1 and then jumped to Isaiah 14. And then right away went to Ezekiel 28, and then back to Genesis 1, and then to Jeremiah 4 and Isaiah 45. And I actually read those references there as I read those, but I'm not going to do that each time I read. It's too distracting. Let me just give you an example of what I'm talking about with distraction. When you read out loud, okay, I've got a number of different little Bibles here of mine, and I'll actually start off, well, I guess I'll start off with this one because I think this was the first one that I started reading for Family Bible Time. And you have Bibles like this, I'm sure, um, in your home. Maybe you use a Bible like this. And this one in particular, it's not going to show up well here, as I can't get the video quality high enough on my webcam. So I'll just point it out. For example, like I just opened up to Judges. And, there's all these cross references at the bottom. There's like a little R, in different spots next to the word. There's also like other words that they suggest, which I never like that because they pluck some of these out of the Alexandrian texts, which is no good. And so these kind of Bibles, I wouldn't actually recommend even for your personal study. The cross references that are there, quite often, they don't go with the text. No more, even King James Bibles, but in the newer ones, the cross references aren't too swift, so interesting thing. But the point is really there's just a lot of excess here, and when I'm reading out loud, that sort of kind of gets in the way. Oddly, that doesn't get in the way as much as the next thing I would love to show you if the video, would pick up the details well enough. But this one's interesting because it has it's got a center column reference thing here. Let me see if this shows up. It doesn't, and I got the light. I thought it would help to have the light kind of tilted up, but actually that's kind of just messing up the video a bit. Okay, see the center column reference there? But if you could see it, there's actually little, like here's a little S. And, at the beginning of this, he is near. And so that corresponds with the S that's in the center column. No big deal, except with some of these characters, like right here, there's a little T. And sometimes in the typeset, they'll be placed in just a way that they'll look almost like, well, here's a better example. Here's the number 13 here before the word sweet. And that corresponds with something here. okay, 13 don't bother me so much either, but here's like a 1 or a J or something. Okay, what that looks like to me when I'm reading, especially through the viewfinder, and this really only affects folks that are reading out loud, but if you're going to read in public, it might be good to know to watch out for these kind of things because they can be distracting. I always try to read from comma to comma or other punctuation mark. But you see these things quickly with your eye that kind of stand there and detract. They almost look like a comma if they land just in the right spot in the typeset. So it's kind of distracting. So this was a Bible that I read for Family Bible Time channel on YouTube. And it has these little tab thingies which don't necessarily help or anything, but when you're reading a passage, it's good when you're doing a sword drill or something. But anyway, that was one that I once used. And then here's another example that you're familiar with too. And actually, I didn't look at this one. This is my very first Bible I ever had as a kid. And wouldn't you know, it doesn't have what I'm looking up. But sometimes in the Bibles, they'll like have at the beginning of the passage or wherever, it'll say, Jesus turns water into wine. And then it'll go in the middle of the next little section. I think it's Schofield Bibles, have something like this, and then it'll have like a little segment. And that's kind of helpful, like if you're looking through something, you go, I know it's in this passage somewhere, and then you look down. Yes, there it is. Jesus heals the leper, and then you find whatever it is you're looking for. Well, this is like all those things combined and way out of control almost. I mean, if you could see that. There's like all these segments and all these different passages and all these different notations of like, outline form. And I'm not going to read all that stuff. It's not going to make any sense to those of you on live stream. And so, and the folks on YouTube can see it. So actually the thing though, in case you're like following along listening and you're going, wait a minute, I didn't think that came next after that section of scripture. Well, you'll see what the deal is if you head over to YouTube and you follow along with what's actually being videotaped. Because this is how it works. I take the video camera here, and I've shown this stuff before, and I read along here, and actually I've got a monitor right down below the webcam that I read from, that this transmits through this fabulous wire right here, which isn't right now hooked up because I'm not doing that thing. But anyway, that's the short end of it. So, once again, the Reese Chronological Bibles we're going to be reading from. Now, please, by all means, don't think this is. I was really hoping you'd get to the book of, I don't know, Psalms. I know everybody loves the Psalms. Well, they're over there on Family Bible Time too. The whole Bible has been read and it's all there. But if you'd ever like, for live stream readings, for any particular book to be read, by all means request it. Just send me a private message through Facebook, or if you do join up with YouTube, send me a private message over there and say, would you please read the book of whatever? And I'd be happy to, interrupt from the reading of the Chronological Bible and pop in with a book. Because another thing is live stream. I've got a number of books that have been read for the Facebook page of Family Bible Time, and I let those things run in the background as an autopilot thing, which is cool because like if you're at work or something and you want to hear, like right now I've got the book of Esther playing for Purim, just to document when this video here is being made. It's the weekend of March 20th, 19th and 20th. And the Jewish folks are celebrating Purim. So, hey, happy Purim to you. And enjoy your weekend here and your feast and celebration before the Lord from God's deliverance that we hear of and know of through the book of Esther. But once again, appreciate you coming by. If there's any questions you ever have or something you'd like to let me know, of course you can message me through the messaging system once again on Facebook or on Family Bible Time on YouTube. And I certainly appreciate those of you that come by and are faithful in watching. Bless the Lord. I'm trying to find where my cursor is so I can click stop on this thing.